Hello viewers and welcome to another adventure in Azeroth and beyond. I'm Phil and with me is Jamie,
Hello.
as always. We are here in one of the slightly creepier locations in World of Warcraft. We are in Deadwind Pass, and we are here to look at one of WoW's earlier, one of the Burning Crusades' earlier raids. We're looking at the 10-man Karazhan, which you can see forebodingly in the distance over there.
A raptor just ran past.
It bloody did. I told you it was creepy. Fucking undead dinosaurs everywhere.
Does that guy even know we're filming? Like, come on, have some respect, bro.
Right, we're gonna have to restart this. No, so we're here to go through this raid. It is notorious for being one of the longer, more frustrating raids, purely because it was just so massive, as you will see. So we're going to be splitting this into two parts. Woo!
Two-parter, guys.
Two-parter, because there weren't few enough views on our videos already. We thought we'd separate them out into two sections. So boost up those numbers. We're going to be heading over there and we're going to be looking at, I think there's 11 bosses or so.
Yeah, which isn't actually that long for a raid.
No, but there's a lot of trash.
And a lot of running between
so
the bosses.
much trash. And lots of running around through bosses. But so much trash. Like, it's unbelievable. And yeah, as I say, this was a 10-man raid. So this was kind of a gearing up raid. I believe you could get tier 4 gloves and helm from here. Helm from the final boss and gloves from a boss as yet unremembered. But other than that, there was just a lot of fairly reasonable epics that you'd use to level up your eye level for going into SSC and the eye, I think.
Yeah, it was sort of the bridge between dungeons and full-blown big boy raids.
Yeah, exactly. It settled into a niche along with Gruul and whatever that place was where you killed I should have looked this up.
Manaroth.
Yes, that's it. See, you knew why I was. This is why we do shows together, folks. Jamie just knows what I'm thinking without even saying the words.
I just get you, man.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, it was a gearing up kind of place. But even for, as I say, even for that, it just took so long, and it was a proper whole night with the energy drinks worth of stuff. But yeah, so that's kind of Karazhan in the game. But what was Karazhan in the lore, which is one of the reasons why we're here. And apparently it's going to be very important in Legion for numerous classes to get their artifact weapons. So, Jamie, what was Karazhan?
Well, Karazhan was the tower of the guardian Medivh, who was, for a time, the most powerful wizard on Azeroth. Now, his job was to protect the world from demonic invasion from the Burning Legion, the guys who are going to turn up in Legion and kill us all. Problem with Medivh was he was possessed by the Dark Titan Sargeras, who is the boss of the Burning Legion. So really, he didn't do that much protecting. He tried to fight it as much as he could, but really most of what he ended up doing was for evil rather than good. He opened the dark portal that let the orcs in. He did all kinds of crazy experiments in his tower. He tortured his dad, who we'll come across in here. He was just generally not a very nice guy. I mean, Karazhan itself was built on a ley lines, where the magical energies of Azeroth go across each other. Confluence, is that the word?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Sounds about right. So it in of itself is a powerful place, and you put a very powerful guy in there, and you got a recipe for disaster.
He wasn't very good at feng shui.
Yeah, exactly. We'll talk a little bit more about the nature of the tower as we go through the raid. But what you see on the outside isn't what you're going to see on the inside. It's kind of got a sort of a TARDIS thing going on in there. It's a lot bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. Whether that's sort of a game design thing or whether it.
I think it's just it's a limitation of showing the thing in the world versus having it be a sizable dungeon. I think there's a lot of like Blackwing Lair. Now that we can fly in Azeroth, You can actually fly up to the balcony where you fight Nefarian, and it's quite small. And like the whole mountain is a lot smaller than would be required to contain that level of stuff.
Yeah, Naxxramas, I suppose, is another one that's...
Yeah, exactly.
Icecrown Citadel, I suppose, probably has the right amount of outside.
I think Icecrown is probably the closest it comes to being 1-for-1 scale. I mean, obviously, the real 1-for-1 scale dungeon is Siege of Orgrimmar, because that just is Orgrimmar.
Yeah, it's quite impressive how they did it, actually.
Yeah, it's a very nice place, as we mentioned in our last video. But yeah, no, you do get this weird kind of, as you say, TARDIS-like effect, because, you know, it is a very strange magical place, and, you know, as you will see, there are various peculiarities of this place going on. There is a door up here, actually. I don't know where it goes. With a raid portal.
Oh, interesting. Is that not the sort of the halfway house?
I think that's the back door, but I don't know how you get there. Because you couldn't fly back in the Burning Crusade in Azeroth, so I don't...
Of course. Maybe there was a long attunement quest to get to this.
Oh, there was a massive attunement quest, yes. It was.
As all raids sort of had back in those days.
Yeah,
Blizzard
thought it was fun to make you... lock you out of things until you did some stupid quest. I mean, some of the quests were quite fun. But some of them were needlessly...
you followed a long story just to get into the raid.
I mean, it was fun the first time, but once you were attuned, when you wanted to do it on an alt, or say, it then became annoying. They really should have had like account-wide attunement for these things.
I'd kind of like to see them bring attunement back if they had it account-wide. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah,
actually.
I think it adds a sense of narrative to the... Sorry.
Sure. I've gone in, by the way.
Yeah, I know, I saw you going. You slacker.
Come on, Phil, hurry up. I'm not soloing this place.
Oh, I know, it's a bit tough.
So here we have the Gatehouse of Karazhan. Over
so
here...
this is one of... From here, there are 3 different ways through the level already. Depending on which way you want to go. And there's several NPCs standing around who will do various things for you as you progress through. I believe Berthold here will teleport you at some point to a halfway point. I believe it's after you kill Medivh's father's ghost.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Oh, spoilers. I think once you've killed him, then he will teleport you halfway up, which does make things a little bit easier. I say easier. It's still a fucking long way. But we're going to head to the first boss, which is ATTUMENT the Huntsman. Which is basically what it says on the tin. He is a huntsman that lives in the stables. He has that pimping looking horse over there called Midnight, who we'll take a bigger look at in a moment. And lots of skeletal beasties around. And there's lots of characters who are kind of flavorful, but have no real sort of story of their own.
Is ATTUMENT the Dark Rider guy, or is he just someone else? The Dark Riders were Medivh's treasure collectors. They, a group of traveling merchants turned up to Karazhan one day and were like, "Oh, do you want to buy some artifacts?" But they were dodgy artifacts. They weren't really artifacts at all. And of course, Medivh, being the all-powerful demon-infested being that he was, saw straight through their ploy and cursed them for all eternity to bring the real artifacts back to him.
I believe he gave them 9 rings. And oh wait.
Yeah, different.
Different Dark Riders.
Different Dark Riders, but yeah, they're pretty much the same.
No, I don't think he's related to that. I think he's just a corrupted ghost person who used to work here and is now evil ghost, rather than the good ghosts that seem to inhabit this area.
Yeah, pretty much everyone in Karazhan is either dead or a demon.
Yeah.
Right, should we kill him?
Yes. So first you have Midnight, and you fight him for a bit, and then he will appear and jump on Midnight.
Look at him riding around the place.
And then you kill him, and then he dies.
And then he drops his mount.
Yeah,
or not.
Yeah. We live in hope. It's a very cool mount, but alas, no.
And then, oh, that's quite interesting. A Worgen claw necklace. So obviously this guy hunts Worgen before Worgen were a playable race in World of Warcraft.
He probably hunts Worgen after they're a playable race.
Well, that's true. Everyone else does.
Yeah.
Worgen, for those who don't know, are the werewolf people.
Yeah.
But they're good werewolves.
Apparently. Sylvanas doesn't like them a lot.
No. Well, Sylvanas doesn't really like anyone.
Well, true. But then no
So-
one really likes Sylvanas.
That's
Apart
not
from
true.
the fans. The fans do. But
You
in
love
game-
Sylvanas.
Yeah, but only because that's the only character I can play in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, that's true.
That's because it's like easy modes.
Yeah, she's a
Minion,
pretty
so-
solid split pusher.
Yeah.
Anyway, wow.
Anyway, well,
Um,
damn you, Blizzard, with all your interconnecting games.
Curse you with your lifetime.
So yeah, as you can see, this is just further exemplifying the sheer truckloads of trash. Like each of these packs used to require setting up, buffing, watching, pulling correctly so they didn't pull everything. It's just a nightmare. Shall we go do Morose?
Yeah, let's go do
Let's
Morose.
So Morose is the house steward, and for some reason he's also an undead rogue, because that's what Medivh looked for in a house steward.
I don't think he was probably an undead rogue when he was hired.
I don't.
You can
He
see
might.
here there's a sort of a party of ghosts going on.
You
So I think these are the-
honestly never know. It is a bit like Disney Haunted Mansion at this stage.
Yes, very much so. What's odd about the whole raid is that Medivh was sort of famous for being a loner. So I don't know if these people came here after Medivh died, or if it's just one of these things that doesn't make sense in the lore.
Maybe he invited them all here and then killed them.
A lot of Medivh's story is told out
No.
with the game. In fact, he doesn't feature in World of Warcraft very much at all.
No, he features in the Dark Portal Caverns of Time instance.
Yeah, that's true. And he's a big player in Warcraft 1 and 3,
Yeah.
real-time strategy. He's sort of one of the big bad guys in the original Warcraft. And then in Warcraft 3 sort of gets this redemption story where he comes back.
Given Blizzard's love of nostalgia at the moment, I could easily see him turning up in Legion.
Oh, very much so.
Just turning up and going, hello.
And Khadgar, who was his apprentice, now kind
Yes.
of takes over his role in the background as the Guardian, but maybe isn't the Guardian, because in some of the comics there's another Guardian called Medan, who is Medivh's son. He's a half-human, quarter-orc, quarter-Draenei being, but I don't think he's canon.
Oh, I don't know.
Medivh had it away with Garona half-orcan.
He's in the comics, isn't he?
He is in the comics, but it's not clear. He's only in the comics. Whereas
I don't know. I mean, like, if we could go back to Sunwell, if they're gonna take characters from the manga and put them into the Sunwell raid, then that immediately makes all of that sort of stuff.
Oh yes, yeah. It's just that he's
canon.
never been referenced in anything else apart from the comics.
Yeah.
Even when you see Garona again, when she crops up in World of Warcraft occasionally, she doesn't really mention the fact that she has a super powerful son.
Yeah.
We'll see. He might turn up.
Yes, you never know. They like to, Blizzard are great for fan service. They do like to give the fans what they want.
Do anyone want Medan back though? He was kind of a weird character.
I don't know. There'll be someone out there who likes it, and they'll be like, "That fan wanted it."
Yeah, that's true.
And there we go.
So should we kill the trash around? Can we kill the trash around him without killing him?
Trash, you're talking about lords and ladies, and baronesses and barons.
Lord Crispin Ference, who seems to be a sort of warrior.
I think this seems to basically there's a theme developing through a few of these instances in the Burning Crusade, which was Blizzard's seeming love of councils of people.
Yes, there's loads of councils.
There's loads of
Everyone's
councils
got a
where they basically went, "Oh, look, you're playing in classes, but so do the bad guys." Ho ho. And again, this isn't another little one. They don't pose much of a problem. Generally, Morose is the boss, and they are just little extra add-ons. But it's interesting to see that they started off early with the whole councils of people. At least they're not blood elves this time.
Yeah, stop
For
killing
a
blood elves.
change. Anyway, yeah, let's just.
Well, we can kill them. Oh no, we've aggroed him. But Morose, he's the housekeeper
he's-
basically, or was the housekeeper.
With his knives. His knives of cleaning.
It's nice. I'm going to clean you guys so hard.
So sharp they could take the very dust off a television. But yeah, again, he's a character that has some tie to the instance, but doesn't really
Not a big
doesn't
lore
really have
character.
that much background. So, yes, with him done away, we shall continue on. Now, there are a few kind of cool encounters within Kara. Slightly unusual ones that involve you kind of working as a team in slightly different ways. One is the infamous chess event,
Boo.
which even now it still takes some time. Look, even more trash. Look at the hordes of trash.
So much trash. It
Never
was a
have I
pretty
seen a
big party.
multi-shot kill so many people at once.
Wish we had this many friends.
But another one that was very interesting was the opera event, which, if we head through here, it's actually quite a large section of the house.
Yeah,
and again,
it's really cool.
for someone who was a loner, to have an entire opera house in their house, you know, pretty odd move.
It doesn't quite match up.
No, I mean, to be honest, because Medivh had Sargeras in him from like birth, didn't he?
Yeah. His mum, who was also the guardian, refused to give up her powers when her time was due.
Yeah.
To become the guardian, basically a council of mages channel all their power or a portion of their power into one being. So that person becomes a lot more powerful because they've got all the power from all the different mages. Medivh's mum refused to give up her power, was the guardian for hundreds of years, didn't age, and then when they eventually called her in for this, she was like, well, I will give up my power, but only to someone of my choosing. So she went and got herself knocked up and gave birth to Medivh, and then left Medivh with his father, and then eventually passed her powers on to him at some point. She's still kicking around, Aegwynn. She's still alive.
Oh, she'll be in Legion though.
Yeah, I think she's quite a big, important character in Legion.
Of course she is.
I think
Because everyone is in Legion. It's a great big smorgasbord of characters you know and love. So talking of interesting encounters, so we had the opera event, and this was, I think, still is, unless Jamie can think of something, where it's the only time where you will get a random boss, and I could be wrong now thinking about it.
Not anything that off the top of my head that I can think of, but basically there's 3 potential bosses you could get here.
Yes,
The
and
first
they're all based on hilarious stories and films and things. So the first one is the Wizard of Oz.
the
with
Tin Man,
with Dorothy and
all that
Tom
nonsense.
Jones.
And then we have Romeo and Juliet.
Yep, which is a fairly standard one boss, second boss, both bosses.
And then what was the other one?
Red Riding Hood, which is I think just the big bad wolf appears and you fight him, which is I think the most interesting one is the Wizard of Oz event.
Yeah, it's the most fun. Hopefully we'll get that one. I'm not sure if it's sort of on a rotation or if it is just completely random.
I don't know.
Someone will let us know.
Random things are never random in WoW, or Blizzard's plans.
So we talked to Barnes, and he's asking if we're ready for our big stage debut.
I'm not an actor.
Don't worry, you'll be fine. You look like a natural.
Okay, I'll give it a try then. Because, brave warriors assaulting a house of the undead and demonic. Why else? Why wouldn't you kind of just go, oh, yeah, let's take 5 and be actors?
Get stuck in.
Yeah. Oh, look, and Barnes is all smartened up now with his little tux on.
He's got a very emo haircut as well.
New human model?
They replaced the model. Is that the new human model? Is it? Oh, very interesting. Because they've not replaced the models in all the old instances.
I think a lot of the time is unless they had a custom model, if they were generic human, say, then when they updated the files for generic human, all generic humans in the world got updated. I think they must have used some kind of clever dynamic linking type thing. I don't know really how.
Sorcery.
Yeah, they used magic and sorcery to create such events.
Chris Metzen used his wizardry to make it better.
No, they would have just dynamically linked kind of the
magic
textures and models and everything. So when they updated it, they could, because they must have known they would have had to update it at some point, and also they have millions of NPCs. Yeah, or sorcery.
I'm gonna go with sorcery.
Oh, it's the Red Riding Hood one.
Oh, it's the Red Riding Hood one. Oh, that's rubbish.
Boo.
Ooh. So grandmother is here. She's pretty saucy
Oh.
for a grandmother.
Low cut top.
Pretty young as well. She's kind of got grey hair.
New human model.
New human model.
Mm.
Oh, grandmother, what big ears you have. Oh, got big eyes as well. And what fat loots you have. Oh, that's cool. For those who don't play WoW, fat loots is pH fat.
Oh no!
Oh no, it's the big bad wolf.
Ah, you're Red Riding Hood.
Am I?
Yeah.
Also a gnome. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a speed buff.
Worgen.
You are vulnerable to the big bad wolf.
Oh, is he gonna kill you?
Run around. I don't know. Can I just shoot him? No.
Apparently
go.
so.
So yeah, there's another Worgen, in fact.
Yeah.
Very sort of feral-looking Worgen model.
Do you want the Wolf Slayer sniper rifle that I can't equip?
No, looks a bit rubbish.
Are you showing it now?
Yeah. It's okay. I don't usually use guns. I go for the sort of elf ranger look, so I like using bows.
Yeah. You do have pretty pimping bow at the moment. That's the one from Sunwell, isn't it?
No, it's the... I did get the one from Sunwell,
You did,
actually.
yeah.
Dropped, but it is the one from...
Oh, Black Temple.
No, it's the one
What?
from Archimond in the Time Walker raid
Oh,
at Mount Hydrel.
how many have you got?
I don't have the
The epic one.
Flat Bow of the Betrayer.
No, that's the one. The legendary one, not epic. They're all... Everything's epic.
I don't have the legendary one either, in fact. No, you're right.
Um,
So we're going up here. Are we missing someone? Maiden of Virtue?
Yes! Ah, no, we're going back down here.
We're going back down here. We need to go get the Maiden of Virtue.
See, this place is slightly confusing. There are lots of bosses hidden away, and there are lots of optional bosses. But some bosses are optional, whereas others aren't. For example, you can't do this event until you've killed Morose, but there's nothing that tells you that. There's no obvious, block from gaining access to the opera, other than Barnes won't talk to you or something, or Barnes says something different if you don't don't kill Morose.
Yeah, I think he says something about them not ready for the show, or
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
why don't you speak to the housekeeper or something like that.
Yeah. And so, there was lots of weird stuff like that going on. Where was she? Oh no, she's upstairs, and then God's sake.
See, we're lost already.
Where are we? What year is this? Yeah, so there's lots of optional bosses, but then there's lots of non-optional bosses for other bosses that don't necessarily make sense. And there's one boss that you have to do a quest line to get an item to be able to summon them as well. But there's nothing in the raid that tells you that.
I don't think we have to do that anymore, do we?
No, we don't have to do that anymore because Blizzard in their infinite wisdom have removed all that sort of shite. But
Here she is. And she's a really weird boss.
she's a Titan statue.
Sort of Titan Keeper.
Yeah,
One of
she's,
the first
she's a
that we
keeper,
see.
but not a keeper because she's actually just a statue. I think is the lore. She's just a pretty statue that's come to life because of magics.
And they've maybe just used the same model.
Yeah, because
think
they do look kind of statuey.
Yeah, the Titans are basically the gods of Azeroth that made everything, and they left behind these Titan constructs. Some of them are sentient, and some of them are just sort of robots to maintain their creation. What this one's doing here, I've got no idea, and whether she is anything to do with the Titans, I don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
You never
She could
know.
be. But beyond that, she doesn't have that much lore, does she?
No,
Right, should we kill her?
she's just there. Yes, let's. She used to have an interesting boss fight mechanic where you had to turn away from her, otherwise you got stunned. Because it was like she would glare out with inner light or something, and it would incapacitate you if you were pointing in her direction, which was quite fun.
Where are we off to now?
Very different. We shall head off to the upper stairs.
Is that the actual name of it?
I'm pretty sure that is an actual area name of Karazhan.
So, did we go right through here? We went... Or am I lost?
I don't know. Confound you, stairs!
Oh, we're going to have to go over the stage again, I think. Are we?
Ah, okay. Life's so hard.
It is a very difficult raid to find your way around.
Yeah, isn't it? Isn't it? It gets worse. This is the easy bit.
Yeah, no, it gets a lot worse. When we get into the more sort of extra dimensional areas of the raid.
Yeah. Because this is basically Medivh's fun palace. This is where you take your kids for their like 12th birthday.
This is where Medivh takes his lady friends back.
Yeah. So this is an assortment of amusing and amusement type things. But things start to get a little bit creepier later on when you get into his like research and his magical tomes and collections and all that sort of thing. I think he even has the biggest library in the world.
Massive.
I think I can say that because I can only think of one other library, which is that undead dungeon that's not Stratholme.
Scholomance.
That's the one.
I was doing that the other day, actually, on an alt. Forgot how much I really like Scholomance.
Yeah, it's not bad. I liked the revamped version of it more.
I never did the original one.
Oh, yeah, of course you didn't, because you're a stupid latecomer.
I'm a scrub.
All this vanilla stuff. Brr.
Back in my day, we had to do our attunement quests before we got to raid. And this was all orange.
I think you had to do an attunement quest before you could do Scholomance.
I think you're right. You had to get the skull.
And Stratholme. Yeah.
Everything had attunement quests.
But everything, yeah. Oh, the bloody Molten Core and Blackwing Lair attunement quests.
So if are we going out this way to see the Dragon Lady?
Yes. So this is the one that had their own attunement quest. This is Nightbane's Plateau. And you used to have to make sure someone in the raid had this blackened urn in their bag that they could use to summon her. No longer do you need to do that. The Blizzard just put it there. But
Can we click it?
Yeah, you can just click it.
I've clicked it. It's not doing anything.
Oh,
Maybe you can only do it if you once had the urn.
maybe.
Have you clicked it?
Yeah.
An ancient being awakens. That is interesting, actually. I couldn't click that. Couldn't interact with it at all.
Yeah.
Maybe we learned something.
Oh, there it is.
Maybe people with greater WoW knowledge can comment in the down below the video.
I think maybe you still have to do the quest line then. And if you have done it, then you can click it. Yeah, it just saves you from having to bring it with you, which would make sense if you actually accidentally destroyed it or whatever to make space.
Now, I originally thought that this was a unique model for an undead dragon, but in fact, it's the same as the one in Sunwell.
Yes.
Just reskin.
Just different colour. Yeah. Well,
This
actually,
one looks cooler, I think.
Well, I think the Sunwell one's this one reskinned because obviously this was earlier.
Yes, yeah, of course.
But it wasn't, a fantastically complicated boss fight. It was the usual dragon on ground, hurt it a bit. Dragon has aerial phase, hurt it a bit more. Dragon lands, and then you kill it. Does the
You
deep
summon
breath
some
stuff.
skeletons.
Yeah, lots of skeletons. My proudest moment in WoW, or one of many, was solo tanking this from like 4% health down to kill. Because the rest of the raid died, and I managed to pop evasion just in time and kill it, which was fun.
You're pro.
Yeah,
Or MLG.
totally. I am now purchased by Activision, who we love because they also own Blizzard. And
Yeah, I was waiting to say let's not piss off.
and we like to play
we
WoW
apologise to
and
anyone from
Hearthstone.
Activision,
Don't ban us, please.
watching at home.
Or at work or anywhere.
Yeah, you can watch this at work, on the bus.
It's all very SFW.
What?
Safe for work.
Oh, that's not one that I was aware of.
Well, have you not seen like NSFW?
Yeah,
Not
I didn't assume that there was a.
What do
a
you think
safe
it meant?
Because I thought if it didn't have not safe for work on it, it was automatically safe for work.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, if you're in a place where there's lots of stuff that's not safe for work, then you might want to highlight. I don't know.
Oh, that's quite a cool shield. Breathes fire.
It's tiny though.
Yeah, no, there is that problem.
Like on a gnome, maybe it would be
But you
okay.
scale down to the gnome size because weapons scale to character sizes.
Oh shit! Yeah. No. So awful shield, but funky model. I think is what we've taken from that. So yeah, so that was Nightbane. Again, fairly standard fight. None of these are overly complicated, but they're just kind of cool to look at. Really, I think is the.
Yeah.
general
Again,
gist of
Nightbane
it.
doesn't have that much lore behind her. She's just kind of a big undead dragon.
Yeah.
Now, is that us about halfway through then, or?
I would say so. We're coming up on the library area. I think we should get to the library and then we'll
Yeah, we'll tease them with the library, shall
yes, we'll go have a look at the library. Except we have to go up all these fucking stairs.
we? Oh, it's awful.
Why didn't he have a magical lift?
Never mind, because he had magical
escalator
rods
or
from going up all
something.
the stairs.
Yeah. By the end of going up all these stairs, he just jumped up them. That's what quads do, right?
Yeah, quads are for jumping.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't gym. You gym, don't you? You're a very active fellow.
I don't. I bike, so I never actually have to leave the ground at any point. So,
You don't do like sweet jumps and that.
oh, I do, but the bike does that with momentum. I don't actually have to use legs for that.
That's okay then.
Anyway,
Anyway,
this getting very personal. Here is a random statue of an earthen with no face for some reason. Well, kind of a weird face.
Earthen is the old name for dwarves.
Yeah, before when they were made of rock and not sentient. Before
I think they were sentient when they were made of rock, weren't they? You have to have a brain to be sentient. It's a bit racist, Phil.
No, I just don't think they were sentient.
You don't have a brain. Are you sentient? I mean, your character, not you. I'm not just being incredibly rude now.
I've got a brain.
As an undead, do you have a brain though? As an undead?
I don't. Yeah.
Why
would you not?
I imagine it's sort of like dribbled out through your nose.
Oh, possibly.
But then I suppose zombies have to have a brain to work, don't they? Because you destroy the zombie brain pan. See, these are the questions that no one else is asking.
Yeah. There's a very good reason for that.
But no, they were pretty sentient, I reckon.
Yeah, they were sentient enough.
They were sentient. They could go and do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
helped the Titans shape.
But yeah, so they were built by the Titans, and then through magical hocus pokery, they became the dwarves, which I think is something that you find out in one of the Uldaman dungeons.
The Ulduar.
I think it might be
One of the Titan dungeons, anyway. It explains they were cursed.
There's a few.
They were cursed by the old gods, which are sort of the Cthulhu monsters from World of Warcraft.
And yeah, they did stuff, bad stuff.
But anyway, that seems like a reasonable place to end the first episode.
Yes, with this glimpse through the door to the magical voidy things. Ooh, what lies beyond?
They look scary, don't they?
Yeah. So we're gonna cut this here. Join us in part 2 for even more adventures through the ever ongoing Karazhan. Hooray!
Hey, like, subscribe, do all those nice things.
Yeah, do all those nice things. Share it on Twitter. If you like it, share it on Twitter. If you don't like it, shush, Mr. Poison.
Share it on Twitter and say how rubbish it is, because then people will still look at it to see if it's rubbish.
Yes, do that.
Yeah, do that.
All we care about is views. Just give us views.
Give us views, likes, and shares. That's all we care about. We don't even care about making good content. You can tell that by now.
Yeah, we try. We try really hard. No, this sounds like begging now. Right, shush. Join us in part 2 where we continue on with the wonderful Karazhan.